Welcome to the second lecture series in Retail Strategy. Last lecture series, we talked about the 7 forces reshaping retail and the 6 pillars that separate retail winners from losers. Today, we're going deep into pillar number 2, customer obsession. Now, when I say customer obsession, I don't just mean being nice to customers or having good customer service. Customer obsession is about understanding that not all customers are created equal and making really strategic decisions based on that reality. Today, we're covering why customer obsession matters and the customer buying journey. So, first question, are all customers equally valuable to a retailer? The answer is absolutely not. Not even close. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is called the 80-20 rule. 20% of your customers drive 80% of your sales. Now, this isn't exact. It might be 75-25 or 90-10, depending on the business. But the principle holds true across almost all retail. A small percentage of your customers are driving the vast majority of your revenue. What does this mean? It means some customers are worth way, way more than others. Like 10 times more, 50 times more, sometimes 100 times more. Think about it. If you own a coffee shop, you've got Sarah, who comes in every single morning for a $5 latte. That's $1,825 per year, just from Sarah. Then you've got Bob, who came in once, got a $2 black coffee, and you never saw him again. Sarah is worth over 900 times more than Bob. So here's the strategic question. Should you spend the same amount of effort making Sarah and Bob both happy? No. If you've got limited resources, and you always have limited resources, you should focus way more on keeping Sarah happy than worrying about Bob. This doesn't mean you're rude to Bob, but it does mean you prioritize your best customers. This leads us to a concept called customer lifetime value, or CLV. CLV is the total profit a customer generates over their entire relationship with you. Not just one purchase, the whole relationship. Look at this comparison. Customer A shops once, spends $50, never returns. CLV equals $50. Customer B shops monthly for 5 years, spends $100 per month. That's $6,000 right there. Plus, she refers 3 friends who also become customers. Her CLV is $6,000 plus the value of those referrals. Customer B is worth 120 times more than customer A. Now, when these 2 customers walk into your store, can you tell them apart just by looking at them? Nope, they both just look like people. But if you have data, if you track purchases, if you have a loyalty program, if you know their history, then yes, you can tell them apart. And you absolutely should treat them differently. Not in an obvious, like we only like rich people kind of way, but in a strategic, let's make sure our best customers are thrilled kind of way. This is what Amazon does with Prime members. Sephora does with Rouge members. They know who their best customers are, and they treat them accordingly. All right, let me throw another concept at you, customer acquisition cost, or CAC. This is how much it costs you to acquire one new customer. All your marketing, advertising, promotions, discounts to get people in the door. That's your CAC. Let's say it costs you $100 to acquire a new customer. That's pretty typical for a lot of retailers. Here's where it gets interesting. Your CLV should be 3 to 5 times your CAC. Why? Because you need to make back what you spent on acquiring them, plus enough profit to make it worth the effort. Look at these 3 scenarios. Healthy. CLV is $500. CAC is $100. That's a 5-to-1 ratio. Great. You spend $100, you get $500 in lifetime value. You're making $400 profit per customer. Okay, CLV is $300. CAC is $100. That's 3 to 1. Not amazing, but you can survive. Danger. CLV is $150. CAC is $100. That's only 1.5 to 1. You spend $100 to make $150 after your cost of goods sold and operating expenses. You might actually be losing money on this customer. And you can't make it up in volume. More customers at a loss just means a bigger loss. This is why so many startups fail. They spend a fortune on Facebook ads and Instagram influencers to acquire customers, but those customers don't stick around long enough to be profitable. So, customer obsession means 3 things. 1, acquiring the right customers, the ones who will have high CLV. 2, retaining those customers so they actually reach that high CLV. And 3, focusing your resources on your best customers, the 20% driving 80% of sales.